term scapegoat. That is someone who gets blamed even though they themselves are innocent. Now, scapegoat comes from Leviticus chapter 16. But the thing is, most scholars agree today that scapegoat is not an accurate rendering of the Hebrew. So let's talk about it. In Leviticus 16:8, 2 lots are to be cast, and one lot is for the Lord, Yahweh, and the other lot is for Azazel. These lots are to determine which goat is to be sacrificed and which goat is to be sent into the wilderness. Now, older translations understood Azazel to be comprised of actually 2 different Hebrew words, Az for goat and Azal for to go away. So, Azal, the goat that goes away, which came into English as the scapegoat. That is the goat which escapes. But most Hebrew scholars today understand Azazel as a proper name, the name of a demon that inhabits the desert, the wilderness. So one lot is cast for Yahweh and one lot is cast for this demon Azazel. So what happens on the Day of Atonement on Yom Kippur is that the one goat is sacrificed, and then on this other goat for Azazel, the high priest places his hands on the head of that goat and confesses the sins that, this is important, that have already been atoned for by the death of the first goat. Then the goat for Azazel is sent into the wilderness, into the very turf of this devil, Azazel, bearing the sins that have already been forgiven. The goat for Azazel, therefore, carries the message that the devil cannot hold the sins of the Israelites against them. Why? Because they've already been atoned for by the death of the first goat, the goat for Yahweh. So the goat for Azazel is the goat that bears the message, you can no longer accuse the Israelites of these sins because they have been atoned for by a sacrifice. This is reflective of then the ministry of Jesus. He is the sacrifice. He is the Yom Kippur sacrifice that atones for our sins, but he's also the goat for Azazel. That is, he's the one who bears the message that our sins have been forgiven. He, as it were, marches onto the devil's own turf to proclaim that the devil can no longer accuse us because the sins of which he could have accused us have now been paid for by Christ himself. So Christ fulfills both of these goat typologies. He is the goat who is sacrificed. He is the one who takes away our sins. And he is also the one who bears the message in himself that we can no longer be accused of our sins because Christ has borne those sins in his own body on the cross. And therefore, in him, we are forgiven.